Hello everybody and welcome to the Wolf Chase Toyota Scion Insider on Memphis Tiger Vision. I'm Jeff Brywood alongside Richie Grant. Another season of soccer for head coach Richie Grant here at the University of Memphis. And Coach, coming off last year's 7-7-2 year, 500 overall. It was a nice bounce back from 08, so you got a little momentum coming into 2010.
Yeah, we've had a good spring. It's good to be back. This is always the most fun part of the season for us. But going back to last year, I think the big thing was finishing the season against South Carolina with such a good performance and a good result. So we've had a good spring. So last year's behind us, and just really looking forward to getting going.
You had a lot of guys that were young last year that contributed, and you're still a fairly young team. You still have 18 underclassmen that are either sophomores or freshmen, 9 true freshmen coming in. So still a young team, but you have a little experience with those sophomores now.
Yeah, very much so, and they got a lot of experience last year. We are young on paper. We see that just in the day-to-day training. There's a lot of teaching that we have to do with this team, but very eager. And the lads that are sophomores and juniors have had to grow up very quickly, which has not been a bad thing.
Now, memory serves me correctly, you had a lot of speed, midfield up front last year. Had Michael, who was great in goal. That might be one of the biggest holes you got to fill. Who's going to take over for Michael Goodlett this year?
Yeah, any time you lose a senior goalkeeper, you know, you have a job to do. I thought Jordan had a great spring. He was man of the match in the game against UAB. Had a good match there, and he looks like he's really improved here the 2 weeks that we've been together here in camp. And Martin has come in, had some big saves against the alumni the other night in the first half. So there's going to be healthy competition for that position.
Where is not only in goal going to be the most competition? You still kind of trying to settle on your defense on the back line, or will it be midfield or up front?
It's a bit of, you know, the way we've played our 2 games, and we'll approach tomorrow night the same way, is we've really been getting all the players into the games, and I think that's a credit to how deep we are. You know, we kind of have a couple of lads in each position. So everybody's been getting a shared amount of time in camp so that we can have a good look at them. And when you're young, you need to do that so that you can evaluate your players. The best way for us to learn about them is to actually stick them in matches. So we've been really pleased that there hasn't been a drop-off in performance, no matter what group we've put out there. Well,
I guess when training started last Monday, that had to add to the excitement and the intensity. Such a young team, so many spots up for grabs, everyone's coming to play.
Yeah, it's healthy. I mean, when we recruited them, we told them that there's positions there for people to compete for, and you know, that needs to continue here into the fall.
Coach, you played your alumni game. The 2010 team beat the alumni 3-0, and I've been out to the alumni games before, and it's an exhibition match, but I know the alumni always take it very seriously.
Absolutely.
They're not tiptoeing around the pitch at Eccles Field. I've seen some pretty vicious slide tackles out there before. I'm sure it was an intense match.
We were able to put a very good team. It's also on our staff was making the point that so many of them were all conference players when they were here, and they were a couple of players of the year within the conference, so there was some real talent. Dayton O'Brien, an All-American back. It was a great weekend. Phil McDonald and Joey Lewis were a big help for us in getting that group. So we had from all the different classes well represented. They were eager to play. We had a great night. We had a barbecue on Friday. We had the match on Saturday. And you know, it was great to see so many of the lads back with now their kids. So I got ahead on some of my recruiting for what, the 20-30 class?
Yeah, exactly. And I know the alumni game really grew this year. Had a lot more alumni out. It's going to grow every year as more and more decide to come out and get back on the pitch every now and then.
We had two big events for our alumni. We have a game where we play against them because it's self-serving for our program. It's great to get a run out in pre-season, and it's great to get them back. And we sold 40 season tickets to our alumni the other night.
Wow.
So they're very passionate about staying involved. And then at the end of the season, for our Fox Soccer Channel game, we'll do our Tommy Smith banquet that weekend.
Right.
And our football team play Tennessee that weekend. So that should be another great weekend to get the alum back.
Well, you still have an exhibition match Tuesday at Mike Rose at 7 o'clock. Botafogo out of, I believe, Brazil. Tell me about
your Brazilian is very good.
You're Thank you very much. I'm not Portuguese. Tell me a little bit about this team in this match.
Just what a great fixture to have in your preseason games. An under-19 professional team coming from Brazil, so you'd expect a high standard of play. We don't know an awful lot about them. It's truly a preseason game, but we're expecting a big crowd out there on the back of the game that we did in the spring for charity. We're expecting to break a record on Tuesday night. You know, I mean, I think the community's going to get behind it. It's exciting to see Botafogo, and it'll be really good to see our lads match up against them.
Then you turn around Friday night, you're going to play CBU, and that's always a great exhibition match at Eccles Field. It's almost like a regular season match because the schools aren't separated but a couple of miles, and a lot of these local kids played with and against each other.
Absolutely, it's always been. I mean, we've got a very strong preseason schedule in that we get 4 games, which is a lot to get in, so you get a good amount of looks at your team. But Clint is doing a great job there. I believe he's got a couple of lads coming in. So it's we haven't seen each other since the spring, so it should be a really good game.
Coach, give me a little insight to the season. What are your expectations this year? And tell me a little bit about the schedule this season.
Schedule's tough. We have 2 home games to start it off, which is always nice to play at home, and then we're down to UAB's tournament. In their tournament, we've North Florida and UNC Charlotte, who have been a top 25 team the last couple of years. So tough start to the season. Great conference schedule, great home schedule. We have SMU coming here, Tulsa coming here, UAB on Fox Soccer Channel. Tough road trip to Florida where we play Central Florida and FIU. But you know me, I mean, it's one game at a time. I'm only thinking about Tuesday night at the moment. And just really pleased. It's a schedule that it's always competitive here. If you win the big games in that schedule, you have a chance to be somewhere at the end of the season. But we'll be building towards the league all the time to be good in our conference.
Of course, you mentioned that Fox Soccer game. It's the second year in a row you're going to play on Fox Soccer Channel. You opened the season last year at that midnight game, and that was kind of what was it, 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock game? That was kind of a neat deal. Now you put on such a good show, they're going to have you here at Mike Rose. I
think the game last year, it was nice to be introduced to all the Fox Soccer staff. That went over really well. Bradley did a great job hosting. They had 3,500 people at the game. It was great to be part of it. In the spring, we did a game, and we had 1,700 people come out in the spring, which is a huge audience. And I think on the back of those couple of good performances, Fox have picked us up, and us and UAB have a natural rivalry. So we're, what a great thing to end the season on. So hopefully that will be well supported, and that will be at the top of our game at that point.
You mentioned some of your TV games, some of your exhibition games that you've had drawing really good crowds. Do you feel the momentum building? And is your opinion, every 4 years when they play the World Cup, do you usually kind of see a spike in the attendance or the interest?
It definitely helps. We did I know the lads did a couple of pieces in the summer on the World Cup, which was great. I mean, it just gets young people excited about the game. College soccer is the most important soccer we have in the community for young people to look towards, because that's where they all want to be. So it's very important that they get out and support the local programs. And I do feel that the World Cup has helped. The USA's success has helped. There's more kids playing, and hopefully it just really gets the ball rolling here, that there's bigger fan base. I mean, our season ticket sales is actually going really well, so that indicator by itself is already a good start for what we're trying to do.
All right, well, Coach, best of luck this season. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
Head Coach Richie Grant, I'm Jeff Brightwell on the Wolf Chase Toyota Scion Insider on Memphis Tiger Vision.